Let's rock.
Hello everybody, this is Ron Bumblefoot Thal. Let's rock!
So how are things with you? Holy crap, man. I just listened to your new album.
Oh, good. I hope you like it.
Uh, I love it. It is absolutely fantastic. Congratulations, man. It's a masterpiece.
Damn, thank you.
I've always been a fan, so I knew it was going to be good, but this kind of exceeded my expectations, believe it or not.
Good, thank you.
Unbelievable. So just so everyone knows, Bumblefoot returns January, what, 24th, I guess it's coming out, right?
January 24th is the date. Long time coming. Yeah.
Been a while, eh? Since you've had a solo album.
It has. I mean, I dabbled. I did in 2019, I put out just a digi instrumental single. In 2020, did the same thing. I did 2 acoustic EPs with vocals and everything just on my Bandcamp. But as far as something you hold in your hands, a full album, and it's been 10 years. It's been a busy 10 years, but the time definitely flew by. Did a lot of stuff since then. It was Little Brother Is Watching in early 2015, and with that was the first Art of Anarchy album with Scott Weiland, and then tons of touring and everything, and doing another Art of Anarchy album with Scott Stapp in 2017, and putting together Sons of Apollo and getting that first album out. 2018, a ton of touring with that. 2019, putting out the live video DVD Blu-ray album of, with the orchestra and the choir and everything with Sons of Apollo. Writing the next album of that comes out in early 2020, and we start touring, and the breaks come on, and we rush home, and that is what led to this album. At that point, during the pandemic, having time, being in one place, being able to have momentum and move something forward, being able to take all the things that you always say, oh, one of these days I'm going to get around to doing this. I would love to do that when I have the time. Boom, have the time. So I finished up a song that I called Planetary Lockdown, which was an instrumental. It was a riff I had for the second Sons of Apollo album. And just my gut said, you know what, hold this one back. And while we were working on songs and that one was in the hat, it's like, hey, what about this one? I was like, you know what, I'm keeping that one. And they're like, all right, fine. So I finished up that song and made an instrumental song and put it out. And during that summer, I made a video just a 1-minute video where I play the opening riff, leave the verse section, just backing track, took out my guitar part, my lead, and told people, put your own thing there and make a video of it, send it to me and I'll share it. And it ended up being almost 500 people did it. And it was drummers, bass players, lots of guitar players, keyboardists, vocals. Dino Jalusic, whom Gods Destroy, he did one, wrote words to it, and horn players, and yeah, I was blown away. And it was just wonderful to have, at a time when everybody's isolated, for us all to stay connected. And it was nice to have that happen. So then I put that out. I busted out 2 acoustic EPs because in 2008, I did an acoustic EP called Barefoot. And a lot of times people ask, hey, you ever gonna do another one of those? Sure, when I have time, one of these days, I'll get around to it. Had time. So I did one and then I did another. And I was just doing tons of studio work, mixing people's albums and songs and producing, and back to doing online teaching, which I really miss teaching. All the stuff I didn't get to do when I was always on that hamster wheel, just nonstop, tons of touring. So then I just got the itch. I was like, you know what? It's been 30 years. I only did one fully instrumental album was my first album. should do another one. I've been writing, the only things I put out as far as, besides those acoustic EPs, was these instrumental songs. Like, let me do a few more and make an album. So I started on that. And first thing I did is let me take this riff that's been sitting in my head since I was 19 years old in 1989 and finally turn that into a song. So I had this riff that it was like, and I never made it into a song, and it was just always just sitting collecting dust in the back of my head. I was like, let me take that and build on it. So I took that and started adding a melody on top and just adding each layer. And I almost was like, I would sing everything, and then I would start writing words, and I would just say, no, stop. I'm not going to turn this into a vocal song. And would just treat it like a voice, like just the way adding the vibrato. And just kept building and building, and that song, just when it all came together and I had all the Eastern drums on and everything, and I had a big middle section where it felt like it would be a good spot to trade off. I didn't want a lot of guests. I really wasn't planning on any guests, but then as the songs would come together, it seemed like they just needed something that I couldn't bring. And that song, big middle section, and I just pictured being able to trade off with somebody and just go back and forth. So in 1989, around the same time of that riff, I was in a guitar magazine, got my first legit write-up in a guitar magazine. And this dude wrote to me. I get this handwritten letter in the mail from England, from some guy named Guthrie. And this teenage kid is like, hello, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Guthrie Govan. I'm a guitar player from the UK. Here's my demo, a little cassette. He's like, check it out. I hope you enjoy it. And we became pen pals, and we would write handwritten letters back and forth and always include cassettes with our demos, and we would transcribe our demos to each other. Like, oh, here's how I played this weird riff right here. And we became we were pen pals, overseas guitar pen pals. So it seemed fitting to ask him if he would trade off with me in that song from 1989 when we first met, with a riff from that time period. And he did. So we did a little back and forth in that song. Yeah. And then I just kept on writing and writing and writing. And whatever I was experiencing in life during that time period, if I'm home just watching TV and I like what I'm seeing on TV and I get that lifted feeling and and I just feel the need to just spit out that feeling in some musical way and start making a song, or if I'm driving to the studio and suddenly I just start humming something to myself and I grab the phone, song idea. And, yeah. And that's just how it happened. So really, with a band, when I am just one contributing percentage of the band and I'm just doing my guitar thing or whatever I'm doing, and everyone is contributing their thing, it tends to form a specific lane that the band stays in musically. It doesn't really go all over the place. There's very consistent songwriting that ends up happening. Like if you listen to Sons of Apollo, you could hear any song and it all sounds like it's same direction, same people, and the same mind frame, and also the same time period and everything. But when I'm doing solo stuff, it's more like, I can think of it like when you're on summer vacation in between, years of school, and you might go on a trip here, or you might hang out with your friends here, and do this and that, and you take pictures, and you have a photo album of that summer. That's what the songs are like. It's like, here's what I did this summer. And every song is going to be a little bit different. Like, you're still, the foundation of it, you're still there, but it's in a different place, a different frame of mind, different vibe. So I just let the songs do that. I just wanted to be very honest snapshots of whatever happens from the first song to the last song that are written, and whatever they are, I don't know what they're going to be until
Amazing.
it's done. Yeah,
Okay, so two things. One, the great thing about talking to you is that I don't have to have many questions because
because
you're
I don't shut up.
I love it. I love it. It's fantastic. The other thing is you just answered about six of my questions. Um, I was gonna actually ask you, one of my questions was, as you grow older, and I'm not saying you're old, don't
I
get me.
am. No, I am. Once you hit 50, no one can call you young anymore. It's
We
just, it's not like you might be young compared to someone who's 70 and they'll say, oh, you're still young. But relatively, compared to the cross section of complete humanity, 50 is the birth of the old age chapter of your life. It is. It is the start of old. And I'm cool with that. It's exciting. It kind of is. So
we were
yeah,
both in the
I
same
am
year, I think.
I'm 55. I am proudly old. And I'm cool with that. I'm a young old, but I'm old. I'm in that chapter. I can look back on everything I learned, all the stupid things I've done, and hopefully, just share whatever I have learned with other people and use my time here for others. And that's kind of where my head is at now. Like a lot more coaching, less being on the field. So I do more producing, more teaching, and just say, here is what I've learned with my time here. And I still do a couple of things and get out and play and make albums and do all of that. But as far as I'm concerned, I am cool with just considering myself third trimester of life, kind of retired from the battle, the uphill battle, and now I am just water in the river, just flow around whatever rocks come and just let it take me to wherever it goes, and I'm cool with that. Yeah.
Does it affect your songwriting as you grow older, your outlook on life?
Um, yeah, I think whoever you are, if you're young and angry, got something to prove, that's going to show up in your music. If you found a little more peace and you know who you are, that's going to show up in your music. At this point, it's more of a just, yeah, you get less and less concerned about acceptance and you unapologetically accept yourself. It's like, this is who I am for better or worse, and this is what I do, and this is what works, and this is what makes me happy, this is what I can live with, and this is what my value is when serving other people. And I'm cool with that. And I just do my thing and kind of don't, in a way, it's like you give a shit, don't give a shit. It's it's like you do what you like to do, and if people like it, great, you're happy that they like it. And if they don't, it's like, well, I'm not making steak for a vegan, I'm making it for a steak eater.